All right, well, good morning. Seems like, you get a week off of not talking to you guys, so we got a lot to catch up on, it seems like. We've played 5 games since the last time we've talked. Most recently, last week, we had a 3-game week that was really busy with us going to North Kansas City on Tuesday night. We're able to beat North Kansas City by 6. Went to Staley on Wednesday. We're able to come out on top 52-49, and then judging by the crowd on Friday night, most of you were there. So Friday night had a really awesome turnout, near capacity crowd against Fort Osage. We're able to win that. So currently sit at 18-3, 8-0 in league, and have 4 games left, 2 weeks left, 2 games apiece. 2 home games, 2 away games. It's weird how it works out that way. So currently we sit atop conference, 1-game lead over Raytown, 2-game lead over Staley. So tonight, Staley comes in, which will be a pretty pivotal game for us to try to create separation and give us a better chance of trying to get that conference crown, excuse me, get that conference title that we're looking for. So Staley comes in tonight, and then Friday night, it's just hard to believe that it's our last home game of the year. So Friday will be the last home game, but also it'll be senior night, which will be really special to recognize 8 players, 3 managers, 11 guys in total that have committed a lot of time and a lot of effort to our program. So we're hopeful that we could have a really good turnout Friday night. Hopeful we can play well the next 2 nights, our next 2 games, and continue our positive momentum as the season goes. We're getting closer to, district play and playoff tournament basketball, and we've tried to prepare all year for it. So this week will be, it'll go by quick because of the 2 home games and because of the busy week we had last week, and we just hope to keep building momentum from it. So with that, turn it over to you guys. Open it up to questions.
Have there been any records broken this season?
Yeah, there's been a few. Off the top of my head, this team set the mark for best start or best winning percentage through 20 games. There's been no team that's had a better record up to this point. Michael Hughes is able to get his 1,000th point. So those are 2 that immediately jump out at me. Mike's got a couple triple doubles, so that'll rank up there on school record. I think he's got 4 total now, 3 this year, 1 the year before. Yeah, so I mean, team-wise, there's enough games left that there's some team records still to be written as well, but those are a few that come to mind.
If you could sum up the season in 1 word, what would it be and why?
Wow, that's a really good question. Fast. It's gone fast. I don't know. I mean, it's a terrific question. I don't think that there's, I mean, I respect the idea and the questions about, trying to wrap up or summarize the season, but, in my opinion, there's still a lot of season to be written. So up till this point, it's gone really fast. They say time flies when you're having fun, so I'm sure that's part of it. You're winning a lot of games. So, I mean, we're 18-3. If we were 3-18, it'd probably be the slowest season I've ever had. So, but the thing about it with this group that makes them different is they've been through it. They understand it. They're mature. They're enjoyable to be around. You don't have to, poke and prod them all the time to play hard and to work hard and to do those things. So, you want to try to, you realize it won't last forever. You got to try to make it last as long as you can. And we got a lot of really important games left that we're still hopeful can turn out on the positive side for us.
Has the season so far gone as expected?
We had high expectations. We had high expectations coming in. Now, as far as, did you think you'd be 18-3? Did you think, I mean, that's hard to tell because a lot of it depends on, like in your tournaments, what if one of the seeds gets upset? and then you're playing a team that maybe isn't as good, or maybe the seeds hold and you're playing tougher teams. So record-wise, I don't think we necessarily got into that prediction part of it, but we had high expectations of this group. We knew that we had a core of guys who logged a lot of minutes, had been through a lot of the battles, and we felt like we could count on. And then obviously with Mike, he's a guy that is as good a player as there is in the city. So as long as we can merge the two of those and have Mike playing really well, and then have the other guys, contributing at the level we think they can, then yeah, I mean they're pretty good. So yeah, I mean it's gone well. We were hoping it would go well, and we'll see how we close, and then once playoffs start.
After playing Staley last week, have you guys trained differently for the game today?
Well, I noticed a ton of fatigue later in the week, but then Saturday morning when we brought them in, they were really, really tired. They were off Sunday, and then we came and we practiced yesterday, and we didn't have the same juice. Our legs weren't quite there, so I could tell fatigue certainly is there. At this point in the year, physical fatigue is present with every team, but you got to try to keep your team mentally sharp too. You don't want them too tired mentally. So we're trying to strike that balance with making sure we're getting the appropriate reps on the floor, staying sharp, but then at the same point, getting them the rest they need. So doing a lot of film work and walk through and that kind of thing to get them going. But that's part of the luxury of having an experienced group too.
With Michael Hughes' shot at court warming, the buzzer beater, making ESPN, do you feel that goes to the team's head at all, or Mike's head at all?
If you guys see Mike, you can ask him about halftime, because after his shot, that certainly got the crowd really excited. But I wasn't very happy with my team. So at halftime, we, maybe as high as we were after the shot, I tried to make sure we came back down a little bit. The shot was great because it created some buzz and some excitement in the arena, but we were still down 3 points, and in my opinion, kind of playing like crud. So we had some things we had to change. So that is, no, I don't think it's going to go to our heads, because I feel like if it was a game winner, then it takes a little bit of a different idea, because then you get, my goodness, think about if that was a game winner. I mean, I don't know if our arena would still be here. The roof would have blown off the thing. I mean, my God. So, but like, Brian hit that shot in the district championship game, and that shot was the only lead we had in the game. It won us the game. It covered up maybe that we didn't play particularly well in the stretch, and then we fought like crazy to get back in it. He hits that shot, wow, and so that was the finality of it, because there was still 16 more minutes to play. I think it was just part of the game more so than anything.
So how would you describe the team, as a family or something?
Well, I mean, these guys are, first of all, they've come together because they wanted to play basketball for however long that's been. For some of these guys, they've been playing for a long time together. And then when they get to us, there's this molding that comes together about how we like to do things, how we like to play. There's the merge of these guys used to play with this youth team, these guys used to play with this youth team, now they play together. But you have these shared experiences and these shared bonds that go together through all the practices and workouts and trainings and then certainly the games that you can't replace and you can't replicate anywhere else. It's something that's unique to these guys. It's something that's special to them. And so you bond through these shared experiences that allow you to develop deeper friendships, relationships with guys. You see them in success, you see them in struggles, and through that you got your ups, you got your downs, but you got to always stick together. And that's something that these guys have been pretty good about. We've had a good example set. Teams and guys before us have been that way. But certainly with the maturity and leadership that we've got this year, it's a pretty strong one.
Do you feel there's anything specific you need to work on for Staley?
Well, we showed him the tape yesterday before practice of our first game versus Staley, and we were able to win by 3. We played fairly well. Mike was, another triple-double. He's pretty dominant. So, but at the same point, there were some errors, some detail things that we normally don't mess up that we did. That we tried to show them on tape as far as, and I mean, it's really subtle stuff, the difference between when they run a certain play being 3 feet closer to it instead of a foot closer to it. But that's the difference between when it was 46-43, they ran that play, we were 3 feet from it. Number one hits the shot at the top of the key. That's the difference between the play. If we're in the right spot, he doesn't hit that shot, we maintain our 3-point lead. So the detail stuff, we got to be good at. We showed them the tape. Staley is a very good opponent. They're 14 wins on the year, 15 wins on the year. Very, very good opponent, very talented, well coached. So I anticipate a heck of a game tonight.
Who do you think were some of the key players during the win versus Fort Osage?
Well, Garrett Burns really stepped up the last couple nights, and he's played really well. So Garrett was certainly somebody that career high 18 points, and I thought played at a level, first of all, that we think he's capable of playing at. We think Garrett's a pretty good player. So glad to see him break out and have a big game. Dominic Fergola came in, hit some clutch free throws for us late, scored 10, got himself in double digits. JD was at 9 or 10 points as well. Barry is always solid for us, always making plays. So Mike gets the majority of the credit, but there's some other guys who have to play well and who have played well for us to be where we're at. But then to win a game that we were down and had to fight through to get back into it. So. With that, wrap it up for today. Appreciate everybody coming in, visiting. Like I said, an important week this week for us to try to keep some momentum going. Staley will come in tonight, and I'm hopeful to see a good crowd. I know it's a very, very worthy opponent. It'll be a good basketball game. And then Friday night, hope to see you all, your friends, and everybody else that you can gather to recognize those seniors and all the contributions they've given us over the course of their career. And then that'll wrap up our home portion of the season, but a lot to be played left, and we'll catch up with you guys next week. Thanks.